Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Soph. For today's video we're going to be doing my 10 books I want to read before the end of 2024. Now, I just want to preface this by saying this is not my end of year, it's not my December TBR. It's not set in stone that I'm going to try and read these books. These are just books that I have either recently got and really want to get around to. Books that have been on my TBR for the longest time, and every time I see them I think, okay, I need to read you. Or just books that I'm really looking forward to reading. We all know that I do a TBR, but I do mood read, so when it comes to doing my actual December TBR, which will be in the next few days or the next couple uploads for you guys, they could be completely different books to what these books are, and I don't care. I'm okay with that. So like I said, some of these books are recent books that I have purchased, gotten, whatever, and they've made their way up on my radar, or they're books that have been sat on my shelves for a long time, and every time I see them I really want to read them, but I'm just not in the mood for them at that time, and things like that. So I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to get onto the list. So first up we have Check a Mate by Ali Hazelwood. The reason I want to finish this before the end of 2024 is because that would make me fully caught up, I believe. Apart from her novellas, I think I'll be fully caught up with all her releases, so there's that. And also at the start of next year she's releasing a new book which is a sports romance, so I would like to be fully caught up on her backlist. No, I won't be fully caught up because I've got Not in Love as well. Okay, scratch that part, but I want to get this done because I thoroughly enjoy Ali Hazelwood's writing, and this will catch me up a little bit on her backlist. So this follows a girl who is brought up in a family that are renowned chess players, I believe, and she decides that she wants nothing to do with the chess world after it destroys her family, and she wants to focus on her mother and her sisters, until she is asked to play in a charity tournament and ends up completely destroying the chess world champion and throwing a spanner in the works. The chess world champion is known as the bad boy in the chess world, and he, first of all, is flabbergasted that he's been beaten by this unknown chess player, and second of all, really interested in crossing paths with her again. So it just follows those two in the world of chess with some like family history going on. And I just love Ali Hazelwood's romances. I really enjoy them. They always have something surrounding them, whether it's science or chess or something along those lines, and yeah, it just, I think they beat like normal romance fiction. Next up is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This one has been a recent one for me actually. I think it was part of my most recent haul, and I know a lot of people have read and loved this book, and I finally caved in to the hype, and I just really want to read this one. It's supposed to be really whimsical and like wholesome, and I think a little bit sad as well. But it basically follows our main character Zachary, who stumbles across a mysterious book that contains his life story, and following the clues inside he's guided to a masquerade ball, a dangerous secret club, and then to an ancient subterranean library. And when the library is threatened, Zachary must race through its twisted tunnels and sweetly soaked shores, searching for the end of his story. Now, to me, this sounds dangerous because I don't think I'd want to know the end of my story, personally. But, like I say, so many people love this book and adore this book, and I want to be part of that. So I would really love to get to this by the end of the year, if not the start of next year. This one is a long-time member of the Sophie Library, and that is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I know I'm like the last person to read this, and I know that everyone and their mum knows about this book, and basically I have no excuse. I think I did actually pick this up like last year to read, and I started reading it, and then I just wasn't in the mood for that type of book, so I ended up putting it down. However, I would like to get round to it before the end of the year. It follows the story of romance between Achilles and Patroclus. But it just says here, Greece in the ages of heroes, awkward young prince, I don't know how you say his name, Patroclus, has been exiled to the court of King Peleus. Despite their differences, Peleus' golden boy Achilles befriends the shamed prince. As they grow into young men, their bond blossoms into something deeper, despite the displeasure of Achilles' mother, the sea goddess Thetis. But when word comes that Helen of Sparta has been kidnapped, Achilles must go to war in distant Troy and fulfill his destiny. Torn between love and fear for his friend, Patroclus goes with him. So it is a romantic love story in the times of war, and I've heard that it makes everyone cry. And you know what? Sometimes I feel like I just need a cry. I need something that's gonna make me feel some things. So I think I'm ready for this book. Next up is Rouge by Mona Awad. This one is actually like her third release, like from Bunny. So I read Bunny, then All's Well came out. Still haven't read that one, and then this one came out, but this one has me more intrigued, I think, and I would just love to read another Mona Awad book before the end of this year. It could be this one, it could be All's Well. I'm gonna read you the blurb for this one because I don't think I could even try to explain it. For as long as she can remember, Belle has been obsessed with skin and skincare videos. When her estranged mother, Noelle, mysteriously dies, Belle finds herself back in Southern California, dealing with her mother's considerable debts and grappling with lingering questions about her death. The stakes escalate when a strange woman in red appears at the funeral, offering a tantalizing clue about her mother's demise, followed by a cryptic video about a transformative spa experience. With the help of a pair of red shoes, Belle is lured into the barbed embrace of La Maison de Méduse, the same lavish, culty spa to which her mother was devoted. There, Belle discovers the frightening secret behind her and her mother's obsession with the mirror, and the great shimmering depth and demons that lurk on the other side of the glass. It does say that it's a gothic, horror-tinged fairy tale about a lonely dress shop clerk whose mother's unexpected death sends her down a treacherous path in pursuit of youth and beauty. We can see the fairy tales in Belle, Beauty and the Beast, being obsessed with beauty. We've got Meduse, could be Medusa, could be Where the Mark there. And we also have ruby red slippers or shoes, which could be an ode to Wizard of Oz. So yeah, I'm just excited to get thrown into a really random, chaotic wonderland like Bunny was. I still don't think I even fully understand Bunny, but I had such a good time along the way. So I would really love to get into one of Mona Awad's newer books. We then have this chunky monster here that is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the first book in the Boys of Tommen series. It follows a girl that moves to a college, which is a private school, and she's praying for a fresh start. But she encounters the notorious Johnny Kavanagh on her first day and is instantly drawn to him. Shannon finds herself once again the target of bullies as she forms a fragile alliance with rugby's rising superstar. But as they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry, Johnny and Shannon cannot foresee the obstacles that will threaten their blossoming relationship. And from what I've heard, it does tackle some really serious topics like abuse. I can't see a trigger warning in the book, but I'm pretty sure I have seen that this does follow like emotional abuse from and maybe physical abuse from parents. But I also have heard that even though this is a really chunky book for romance, you absolutely love it the whole way through, and you realise that it needs to be this chunky because of the depth that it goes into through our characters' stories. So I'm here for it. I can't wait to read it. Am I going to read it before the end of the year? I'm not sure given the size, but I will try my damned hardest. Then we have Storm and Fury by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you are not new to this channel, if you have been here a while, it is no secret that I love Jennifer L. Armentrout, specifically her From Blood and Ash series, and this is one of her other series that I didn't know about until earlier this year, and it is a more paranormal, well, From Blood and Ash is paranormal, but this is paranormal. Like, this girlie can see ghosts and speak to them. So I'm here for it. The book boyfriend has wings. Our main character Trinity is blind, but she can see and communicate with ghosts and spirits. Her gift is part of a secret so dangerous that she's been in hiding for years. in an isolated compound guarded by wardens, which are gargoyle shapeshifters who protect humankind from demons. If the demons discover the truth about Trinity, they will devour her to enhance their powers. When wardens from another clan arrive with disturbing reports that something is killing both demons and wardens, Trinity's world implodes, not least because one of the outsiders is the most annoying and fascinating person she's ever met. Zane has secrets of his own that will upend our world yet again, but working together becomes imperative once demons breach the compound and Trinity's secret comes to life. To save her family and maybe save the world, she'll have to trust Zane, but all bets are off as a supernatural war is unleashed. I've spoken about this book so many times and it's never even made it to my currently reading pile. Maybe December is that month. It's the month where all I want to do is get cozy. Unfortunately, it is also the month that I am the most busiest, both with work and outside of work. So we shall see how it goes, but I just have a feeling I'm going to love this series so much. I'm kind of scared of disappointment, to be honest. I think that's another reason why I haven't picked it up yet. This little gem has been in my last like 4 videos. On my TBR. This is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. It's the first one in the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I've been wanting to read it for about a year now, and every time I put it on my TBR I just don't reach for it. So I'm putting it in this video in the hope that I pressure myself into reading it before the end of the year, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it, especially since it's set in Victorian London, which I love so much. Basic premise is it follows a girl who has arrived in England during the reign of Queen Victoria. Something terrifying is waiting for her in London's downworld, where vampires, warlocks and other supernatural folk stalk the gaslit streets. Friendless and hunted, Tessa seeks refuge with the Shadow Hunters, a band of demon hunters. Drawn ever deeper into their world, she finds herself fascinated by and torn between 2 best friends. Like I said, I've spoken about this so many times on my channel recently that I'm just gonna add it to the pile, but just know that I'm trying to finish this one before the end of the year. Now the next few are a little bit chunkier, which makes the odds of them happening even less, but I shall try. We have When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Again, I've spoken about this one so many times. I haven't picked this one up yet because I want to dedicate a good amount of time to it, because I want to annotate it as well. So this one might be one that I end up reading alongside a different book, because I think this one is going to be quite dense for me to just like sit there and binge read it basically. But in a world full of dragons, I will be there someday, and hopefully before the end of the year, because I also realised that there is the second book coming out next year. So I would like to be fully caught up. We then have Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. This is a recent one that I actually had on my TBR for November, I believe. A Beauty and the Beast retelling, kind of, but there's 4 princes. She wants to break the curse for them, but to break the curse they each have to find their mate, but she thinks that she might be all of their mate. But I know it is spicy, so bear that in mind if this is something that you are looking at. And it's kind of like a why choose scenario. I have the Fairy Loot edition, which is just stunning. I need to read this. I think this will be a really quick, simple read. I've had this on my Kindle library for so long, and then when the Fairy Loot edition came out and I reread the blurb, I was like, yes, you are coming home with me. So this will probably be on my TBR next month. And then last but not least is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. When I received this copy from Illumicrate, I think this one was, I was so excited. A chunky book, stunning cover, and it's about vampires? Yes, please. However, because it's a chunky book, I've been putting it off, but I now own, unfortunately not a special edition, but I now own the second book as well. So I really should make a start on the series, even though I have about 50 series on the go. But this is something that I would like to read if I find the time. I honestly might try and find an audiobook for it, because then I can listen to it while I do other things. But then I also feel like I need to really like pay attention to this one, so we will see about that. But this basically follows a world where it's been 27 years since the last sunrise. For nearly 3 decades, vampires have waged war against humanity, building their eternal empire even as they tear down our own. Now, only a few tiny sparks of light endure in a sea of darkness. Gabrielle de Leon, half man, half monster, and the last remaining Silver Saint, a sworn brother of Holy Silver Orders, dedicated to defending the realm from the creatures of the night, is all that stands between the world and its end. Now imprisoned by the very monsters he vowed to destroy, the last Silver Saint is forced to tell his story. A story of legendary battles and forbidden love. of Faith Lost and Friendships Won, of the Wars of the Blood and the Forever King, and the quest for humanity's last remaining hope. See, it sounds so good when you put it like that, but the sides of it, it's scary. And I mean, okay, it's stunning. Didn't know it had illustrations in it. I mean, I've read Sarah J Maas's books and they can get chunky, but at least I know that I like her writing. J. Kristoff I haven't read anything of. I have Nevernight, but that's YA. This is adult fantasy. So I'm scared. But that is my 10 books I want to finish before 2025. Please wish me luck in the comments. Do you have any books that you want to finish before the end of the year? Like a end of year bucket list for books? Please let me know down below if you do. But that is it from me today, guys. I will see you in the next video, which will probably be a December TBR, which is crazy. How is it nearly Christmas? I haven't even started Christmas shopping yet. Anyway, if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up. It really, really helps. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave so you don't miss the next video. Bye, guys.